Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel, or welcome if you are new. My name is Madison, and for today's video I am going to be doing a 3 holiday looks in one video. So I'm going to be showing you mostly on the eyes and the lips how I would style my makeup for different holiday events, maybe give you some inspiration for any parties or date nights that you're going on. I think all of these looks serve a different purpose, and I think they would look beautiful on everyone. So I'm not going to talk too much. Let's just get into the video. Alright, so I'm going to start this first look off by priming my eyes. I am going to be using some new stuff that I'm confident and hopeful that everything works out. This is the Rare Beauty Eye Primer. I've never used this before, so let's see how it applies. Just going to blend that out with a brush. And I already had a little concealer down, so my lids were already covered a little bit, but I've heard really good things about this primer. I've heard a lot of people really loving it and it becoming their go-to, so I do like that it's tinted. I don't know how that would work with darker skin tones though, so if you, let me zoom you in, if you have darker skin and you've tried that, let me know in the comments if it works or if it's just way too light, it's just not even an option for dark skin girls, because in that case they definitely need a new shade, because yeah. So sorry, this is a new little setup. As you guys can see, I thought maybe I'd start doing this just because it's nice to have a couple of different areas that I can film in, because I do also live in the place that I film, in the apartment, so sometimes it's nice to not have to have a designated area that I have to keep clean all the time and blah blah blah. So for the first look, I'm thinking we're gonna do gold. With the holidays, I'm just all about gold. I just feel like that's what we're here for, you know? Gold is just so glamorous, it's very Christmassy, and I don't know. So let me get my mirrors all situated. I'm just gonna set this down with a little bit of translucent setting powder to make sure my lids are all good, and then I'm going to go in with a fluffy brush, and we're using the Pat McGrath, what is this called? The Mothership Utopian Dream palette. I forget what that was called for a minute. I'm going to go in with this shade right here. Hopefully you can see it. Just kind of like a mauve-y transition shade. I'm going to put that on my fluffy brush, and I am going to tilt my head back, and I'm just going to apply that as a transition shade from outer corner to inner corner all throughout the crease. I'm tilting my head back because sometimes that actually helps you see what kind of bone structure you're working with, rather than just being head on and it gets all kind of everything gets jammed, because I'm pretty sure everyone in the world has wrinkles right there, or a fold, if you will. And so I just try to go with my natural bone structure, because I think we all have a little bit of a hood. Well, not all of us, but a lot of people, maybe you don't have hooded eyes, but you do have a slightly hooded eye. And I like to do this because it helps me see my shape a little bit better, as well as just get that really nice high arch. I'm just building that to my desired intensity. And on the lids, it doesn't really come off that mauve-y. It kind of just comes off as really transition-y. So I'm pretty happy with that. It's not the star of the show or anything like that. Next, I'm going to go in with the dark brown in the palette, which is right here. And I am going to put that the exact same place for now, and then we're going to do some more stuff with it. So I'm going to tilt my head back and just start placing this brown a little bit more precise. Starting slow at first because I don't want this to get too out of hand too fast. I'm really focusing on going deep in this little pocket right here of the inner corner, because I feel like when you apply an inner corner shade, when you have that really defined, it just pops that much more. So I'm just working at this until it looks good. And don't worry about it getting on your lid, that's totally fine. And I'm just gonna take this and keep going. At any point, you can go ahead and take that fluffy brush without any additional product that you're using and just blend, blend, blend. You don't want to really add anything. Oh my god, I'm sorry. If my stomach is growling, you can hear that. That's embarrassing. Okay. Alright, I went ahead and caught the other eye back up and I got it to my desired intensity. All I kept doing was just kept applying, blending a little bit with a smaller brush, then going back in with the bigger brush until I liked the shape and the intensity, and that's all just with that dark brown shade. So next we're going to do is take this shade right here, which is kind of a little duochrome moment. It's this one right here. It's almost like a pink brown with like a little bit of gold in it. So I am going to be taking a flat brush, spraying and applying it to my brush like so, and then I'm going to spray it down with some setting spray just so it's nice and foiled. And I'm going to apply it, since it's a little wet, you can kind of like carve out a crease without like actually carving it out, you know what I mean? I'm going to be applying that all over. And you can see it kind of gives like a little bit of a berry, a little bit of like a reddish pink. And then when I move my eye, you can kind of see the gold effect too. Almost more of like a vintage gold look. It looks pretty smoky right now, but we're still going to add a couple of things. So I'm doing that to the other eye. And then to really amp things up, I'm going to take a little bitty, like kind of flat brush, my Makeup by Mario Master Manipulator, or Metal Manipulator, I'm not sure. And I am going to scrape out some of this shade, this really beautiful gold in the palette, which this palette is so expensive, it kills me to scrape some out, but this gold shade shadow is kind of like putty-like, so I can kind of form it back, which makes me feel a tiny bit better. I'm just going to use one drop. I can kind of show you. One drop, because this is very liquidy. And I'm going to mix that with my little brush. And kind of scoop it on there. And I'm just going to put this right in the center of my lid, like where my eyeball, like my iris is. And I'm just going to go straight down at first. I'm going to do it with the other eye, and then I'll show you how I kind of make it look a little bit more natural. And then I'm going to take that gold on my finger, just dry, nothing added to it, and I'm going to press on the center while it's still a little bit damp, and press it on the outer edges as well, and that'll kind of give it more of a diffused look if you're not looking for that super harsh like line that I did in the middle. And because a shimmer is already underneath it, it'll kind of just blend on its own, just because shimmers blend really well with shimmers, just like mattes blend well with other mattes. So that's kind of what we have going on right now. Alright, the last thing I am going to do is take some black eyeshadow on an angled brush, really pat it on there, and I'm going to do a smoky black line. You could do this with brown as well. I just don't want the brown to blend in too much with the other shimmer that we used, so I'm going to do black. So I'm just going to roughly draw on a wing and then intensify it, smoke it out to my liking. I want it to be more straight, I think. Give me a second while I do this. I'll come back and show you. Alright, we're not perfect, but I just messily drew on a wing with black eyeshadow. It's not super smoked out, but I think the shadow already gives it a little bit of a smoked out effect. I'm going to go apply some mascara, and then we will finish up this first look. Alright, went ahead and put on mascara. For some of these looks, I didn't want to do lashes for all of them because some people just aren't into lashes, and I wanted to show that you can do a really dramatic eye look and not wear lashes, and it's fine. You just find your favorite mascara, and a lot of the times I liked wearing like more dramatic looks. I think it gives a little bit more of like a sultry kind of bedroom eyes effect, but obviously I love my lashes as well. For the inner corner and the brow bone, I'm just going to do this gold shade right here from the Danessa Myricks Lightwork Highlighting Palette. This is the lighter one, and I'm just going to apply this kind of gold highlighter in my inner corner, nothing too crazy, and then just sweep it under the arch of my brow, and it kind of meets up with that gold up there, and it kind of gives it just a little bit of a brightening effect. And for lips, I'm going to be using the MAC pencil in the shade Whirl, and I'm going to apply that all over my lips. Sorry, there's like makeup everywhere. Alright, I'm just going to apply that all over my lips, and over that kind of nude mauve-y pencil, I'm going to apply this Fenty lip cream in Fruit Snacks, which is like beautiful. I'm just going to apply that in the center. And I'm going to take a little bit of a fluffy brush and kind of blend it out like that. Still a really nice holiday color, but just something a little bit different than the normal red. And that is my first final look for this video. So I think this would be perfect for those of you who like a little bit more neutral. You're not into like, you know, going full on glitter or full on red lip or anything like that. But I think this would be perfect for like a holiday party or a holiday event. If you're going to go look at lights or whatever you do for the holidays, I think this would be nice. This would also be nice for like family, like if you're into more glam, just like your good old family dinner. But that is the final look. Let me guys know. Let me know what you guys think. I did not talk today. I'm sorry. Let me go take my makeup off and I'll be right back. Alright, in this video, I will not be taking off my mascara because I am filming it in real time. So we're just going to have more and more mascara on our eyes as the time goes. But this is the second look. We're ready. Our eyes are primed. We scrubbed them from any speck of makeup on it. Alright, this next look we're going a little bit more glam. Also, sorry if I don't look at the camera ever, that's an issue. But for this look we are going a little bit more glam, a little bit more glittery, and a little bit more colorful. So let's just begin. I'm going to be taking my Pat McGrath Mothership Mega Celestial Odyssey palette. This is their holiday palette from this year. If you missed my video where I talked about getting it, I have been swatching it, playing around with it, but this is my first time using it on camera. So I'm excited. Also, I really did like the Rare Beauty primer, so that's what we're going to use again. I think it worked very nicely for what we had going on. Alright, so to start out, we're going to take this kind of chestnut warm brown right here. Can you see that? And I'm just going to be applying that in my crease pretty haphazardly, if you will, with this just fluffy brush. Nothing really precise. I'm not even doing as precise as my previous look, just getting that brown shade on there. If it goes on the lid, it goes on the lid. To be honest, I have no idea if I'm good at doing kind of like tutorials because I do my makeup in such a rush. Like that's just kind of the person I am. Like I wish I could spend 2 hours doing my makeup, and it's not like I can't. Like it's not like I don't have time. I'm not saying like, oh, I have a life. Like no, I really don't. But I don't know. I just don't have the patience to sit there and do things. So I think I've almost kind of perfected doing my makeup in a way that makes it look like it took a long time, but it took like less than 10 minutes. So, unless you think I'm bad at makeup, do you? Don't say that. That would hurt my feelings. So, we have the brown on. She's looking magnificent. She is. She's really looking good. And now I'm going to take a little small brush, and I'm going to take the dark brown in the palette. It's on the top row. It's just the deep dark brown, and I'm going to start applying that in my inner corner and kind of just starting to like smoke that out. So I'm starting on the lash line on the outer corner, kind of going in a wing shape and then bringing it into my crease. So we're making that classic little outer corner V. So I'm just, you can see it's like a really rough sketch. And I'm just building up the intensity. And then we'll handle it. Alright, going back in with my fluffy brush, and I'm going to take a little bit of that kind of warm brown we used and start blending that. Doesn't matter if the lid is super neat because things are going to go on top of that. But we want like the crease and the outer part of it to look nice and blended and not like we applied it the way that I just did. So I'm just blending that, like I said, getting them even, darkening up any spots that need to be dark. If I keep looking this way, it's because my mirror is right there. Alright, so I'm feeling pretty good about that. Now, the fun part. I'm going to be using this e.l.f. These are the little cream eyeshadows, and no, these don't have the names on them, but it's the shimmery green. I don't know if this was just holiday last year or if you can still get this one. I'm probably sure you can get it somewhere. And I'm going to cut out a little half crease. It's not going to be like a half cut crease. It's going to go all the way, but I'm going to leave some of that brown showing. You can kind of see. I'm just going to use the wand that it comes with at first and just start establishing. These go on a little sheer at first, so it's not going to be like, ka-chow, the look is done. So that's kind of what we got going on. I'm going to go ahead and do the other eye, and when I come back, this will be dry, and we can kind of build it and see. Alright, that's what we're kind of looking with. It's a really poorly attempt at a cut crease, but it's not, it's all going to be fine. I'm going to show you why. I didn't mean to do a good job. I meant for it to look like this, okay? So I'm going to take a little bitty brush. Little bitty. I'm going to take this shade in the Pat McGrath palette. So it is right here. It's kind of emeraldy, kind of teal, but we're going for emerald vibe. So we're going to go with that. We're going to wet our brush with setting spray. And we're just going to go right on top of that shade. With the flat part of this brush, I'm kind of just like pretending like I'm blending. So it kind of straightens out the line. So I'm just going to keep packing that on until I feel like it's all even. And wing it out a little bit more. And the only reason I put that e.l.f. shade before this is just because I wanted to establish a shape with something a little bit more creamier. And I am actually going to top a little bit of this with that same color. So I'm just going to do some little dots and take my finger and spread that out. Just because these are kind of two different shades of green. And I want just some variance because this is like the main color and I don't want it to look flat or anything. Doing that until I feel like it looks good, and Some people might think it's like kind of messy, but I think it works really well. I am going to take that little brush that I applied that dark brown with. I'm not going to add anything else to it, but I'm just going to very lightly go along the edges just to like knock off any loose glitter or anything that got there that's not supposed to be there. And we're definitely not done, so let's keep going. All right, the next thing I'm going to go in with is this from Auric. This is actually their new holiday collection. If you don't know about Auric, it is Samantha Ravindall here on YouTube's makeup brand. And I am going to take a little bit of that, and I'm going to go ahead and start on the lower lash line. We're not done with the top, but I want to just get kind of more of a cohesive look going, and you'll see. So I'm going to take the cream, and this is the olive shade. Did I already tell you what it's called? Entice. It looks like this, has a little cream, and then on the top is a shimmer. So I'm going to take this underneath my eye and connect it up to that little wing shape. And yes, I know I have a ton of fallout. We're going to take care of that. Being very careful with this stuff because the cream is very smudgy. Well, like, it's not like a diss to her product or anything. It's like just that it's a cream eyeshadow going underneath my eye. So I'm just popping a little bit that. I'm probably going about 3/4 of the way in. I don't want to go all the way into the inner corner. And then let's continue. Just to kind of meld that color, I'm going to take this mint eyeliner. It's called Fresh from LA Girl, I believe. Yeah, LA Girl Shockwave Neon Liner in the color Fresh. So I'm going to apply this at my waterline. And it's going to really make these colors pop together. You can kind of just go with your eye and like smudge that like darker olive shade from the Auric and that eyeliner we applied, kind of meld them together with your finger. Just to line my top lash line, I'm not going to do a wing. I'm going to take this, which is an LA Girl Feline liquid liner in the shade Emerald. So I'm just going to kind of, it's not going to do a whole bunch, but it's going to give us a little something along our lash line so that our lashes look a little fuller. There are a lot better eyeliners than this, I'm not going to lie. But I just don't have any in this particular shade because this isn't a shade I usually go for. Alright, and I am going to apply that kind of mint eyeliner in my inner corner. Just kind of connecting the lower lash line to the inner corner and the upper. And that looks kind of like dark and heavy, but that's why we're going to add the next product, which is the topper for the Auric. So the topper for the green is not super green. It's more of this very light shimmer that has a little bit of like olivey tone, so I think it's going to complement this really well. So I'm just going to put that on my finger and stamp that on the inner corner. And I'm also going to take this and put it right underneath the brow arch, almost kind of in my brow. And then I'm going to apply my mascara and everything, and I'll come back and I'll show you guys the final look. Alright, went ahead and applied my mascara. Again, I'm going to do no lashes, just because I feel like sometimes the lashes like cover up the eyeshadow, and I really want this to like pop. If I'm going with something more colorful, I want people to notice my eyeshadow. So that's just a personal preference. It would look gorgeous with some lashes. I'd probably do some that are a little bit more flared on the outer corner. For the lips, I went ahead and just lined with MAC Whirl, and I am going to do a nude lip. So I'm going to take the Maybelline Superstay Matte Liquid Lipsticks, and I'm going to take the shade Loyalist, which is a really nude shade. I'm going to go ahead and spray some setting spray, just very lightly. And that would be the second final look. I really like this one. I think it's really, really pretty. I'm probably going to wear this in a few days. I'm going to see like a little Christmas village with some lights and stuff, and I think this will be really pretty. I was a little hesitant about this one because I do have kind of blue-green eyes, but I think this would look beautiful on anyone, no matter what their eye color, but definitely the brown-eyed babes out there definitely would look so stunning with this. Everyone would. Go put it on right now. Okay, I'm just kidding. You don't have to. It's like 10 o'clock at night here, but here we are. Here we are. So yeah, that's that final look. Alright, should I have done the most colorful look first? Or last, I mean. Yes, because my eyelashes and lash line are now stained, but we're gonna pretend we don't see it. You don't see anything, right? So our last look is actually the easiest, and I wanted to do this because I think this is an option that looks great on literally anyone, and it just screams holiday without screaming that you have a ton of makeup on. It just makes you look put together with not a lot of time. I swear. I swear. I swear. Okay. We're not going to prime the eyelids because we want the eyelids to be a little bit more natural. Mine have a little bit of concealer on them from the last situation that we had going on, but I kind of wiped away the excess. And you don't have to put anything on unless you have like really, really like pigmented veins or something like that you feel maybe doesn't look the best, or you feel self-conscious about it. Totally go ahead and cover those babies up. The first thing I'm going to do is take any warm eyeshadow. Hoola by Benefit would work if you're like my skin tone. Anything warm, any kind of bronzer color. And I am just going to very lightly focus that on the outer half of my crease. So something that has like a little bit of like a warm orangey hue, but very light, very light, very light. Now take off the excess and then just blend that out. Kind of blending it away. Like, we don't want it to be like, oh, you put that brown eyeshadow on your crease, it looks good. No, we want it to be like, oh, your eyelids have a little bit of dimension in them. Naturally, you're perfect. Okay, that's what we want it to look like. We want it to look like we're absolute perfection, because we are. Next thing I'm going to take is the Jaclyn Hill Volume 2, but any palette will work. And I'm going to take this shade right here, which is called Next. It's kind of like a red, plummy situation. Burgundy, maybe. Not burgundy, maybe a little bit maroon. My boyfriend would kill me if I got those colors mixed up, but he has headphones in, so we're safe. We're safe here. And I'm going to take this little brush, this little pencil brush that I've had forever. I stole this from, I think, my best friend in high school years ago. So I'm going to dip my brush into that kind of red maroon shade. I'm going to wipe off pretty much all of the shadow that I just put on there. And I'm going to apply this in my socket, like in that really, like not like the crease kind of, like, well, I guess it is the crease, but you know how like with your crease you kind of go up? I want this to be like really like tucked in there. You're probably like, where's this going? And I'll tell you, you're going to take your fluffy brush and you're going to blend that away. You don't want anyone to know we used eyeshadow. It's crucial. If anyone comes up to you and is like, oh, I love your eyeshadow. No, those are just my eyelids. They have so much dimension and color in them, and they're beautiful. So that's what we want people to know. And we're going to do the same thing on the lower lash line, just with that little bit of red. Wipe like all of it off. Ignore any green eyeshadow left on my eyelid, because I tried to get it off, I swear. You don't know how much time I spent doing it, but I do, and it was a long time. Taking that fluffy brush, we're going to blend, blend, blend. Because again, we just want it to look like we have natural, sultry eyes. We don't want anyone to be like, oh, that lower lash line's blown out. No. My eyes are naturally like that. They're naturally blown out. And that's it for the eyes. Let's apply our mascara and move on. Alright, we did the eyes. They looked very... not a lot going on. I know you're thinking, this isn't a makeup tutorial. This is some person who doesn't even know about makeup. You're wrong. Because the way that this is going to look with the lip we have paired, I'm just going to add a little bit of something in the inner corner. You're allowed to do that. You are allowed to, for people to know that you have an inner corner. But that's it. Nothing else. For our lip, we're going to take the ever so famous Ruby Woo lip liner from MAC. Fill in our whole lip with this. Everything I said about this being an easy look, out the door, because I don't know how to put red lip liner on. Hold on, let me get the lipstick. This is my new favorite red lipstick. It's from Maybelline. It is called Red For Me. It's a cream lipstick, so if you want something matte, this is not it. You could just stay with the liner. It's beautiful. But I am just going to apply the lipstick on top. I would say the lipstick is a little bit more true red. The liner is a little bit more blue red. So all my pale babies out there, the blue looks really nice, but you can wear whatever you want. And that is the last look. Now you might be thinking this is ugly, or no effort, or you're better at makeup than I am. But I think this is a classic Christmas look. I think this would look really good on anyone. Let me put my hair up. I feel like this looks best with your hair up. It also looks best if you have clean hair, but we all aren't perfect. But like, look at this. Like, I'm just like at a party. Hold on. Alright, I forgot that I took off most of my blush, but I added a little bit more of like a rosy toned blush. And I just think this looks really elegant. I think it's perfect for someone who doesn't wear a lot of makeup, but they want to look striking. You know, they want to show up to their holiday event just looking clean, sophisticated. And I think this is a good look. So really all there is to it, I put the red on the lid. It just makes it look a little bit more natural. Like that's like your natural tone under your eyelids. And I just really liked this look. I wear this a lot when I'm not feeling like I want to do a whole bunch. And I think this ties you together really fast. Obviously, if your hair looks better than mine, it looks better. So this is that look. Alright, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I did. It was kind of different. I've done like 3 look videos before, but I was really excited. I had all of these looks kind of in my head before I decided to put them all together in a video. So yeah, if you're looking for something, you know, you need a makeup look for your holiday events in the next couple of days or the next week, then maybe some of these could give you some inspiration. But yeah, I think that's all I have to say. Please like and subscribe if you liked the video. Let me know what your go-to holiday look is, and I will see you guys next time. Bye!